And really a great first step here is to conduct your internal gap analysis. Take a look at the jobs and the roles that you have in your office. What are the skill sets individuals need to really succeed as a post-award sponsored project administrator, or an invoicing specialist, or an effort reporting coordinator? Once you figure out the skills that they need, what are the skills that they have? And then what's the difference between the two? Once you've conducted this gap analysis, really the best next step is to go ahead and prioritize how you want to adjust those gaps with your training head on. So if you're finding that with your existing staff, Excel skills or financial reconciliation is the #1 skill they need, and it's probably one of the top areas where they don't have that existing experience, that should rise to the top when you as a manager develop and build your own training plan. When thinking about training plans, it's definitely a great idea to separate your staff into 2 groups. One, new staff, new hires, people who are coming new into the office and you want to make sure that they're providing value to your office right away. But it definitely shouldn't overshadow the need to keep your existing staff on the ground, continuing on their education and development path. Those individuals may have been in their office in your job for the last 20 years or an extended period of time, but that doesn't mean that they've learned everything that there is to learn. Staying fresh on institutional policy, on sponsor regulations, on the best way to do things is always an ongoing need, whether they've been in that position for 6 months or they've been in that position for 25 years. I'd also encourage you to think about training as a very diverse set of tools. Not all training is lecture training, sitting in a classroom, something like this. Training can also include referencing policies and procedures or desktop manuals so that your team on the ground has the tools they need to answer their own questions. Training can also include shadowing or learning from other mentors in the office. Too much shadowing can probably slow down the training process, but every person has a different perspective or brings a different skill set to the table. So making sure some of your experienced staff pair up one afternoon a week with some of your new hires is a great way to trade them on new skills, share experiences and background. It's also important to see that your office, those experienced staff members, those individuals can be trainers themselves. It doesn't need to be all on the manager or all on the director to train your new staff. You have some great skill set and abilities in those senior staff members. Definitely leverage it as you train your new team. And keep it going. Stick to your plan and build in considerations for how you're going to keep that refreshed as you go along. Who's going to be responsible for maintaining your training documents, and make sure that you go through every once in a while and update the word A21 to uniform guidance. It doesn't, again, need to be just you, the manager, who's responsible for doing that. You can share that responsibility across your team, and this really helps them also feel a stronger sense of ownership.